Hi there, it's Lori, and my story is about my grandson from California today. Well, he's not my grandson today. Anyway, today it's about him because my oldest stepdaughter and my grandson are here visiting from California because of my 18-year-old stepdaughter is in a play this weekend, and it's her senior year, so she was able to come out from California for that and do a few different things. But we get to see our grandson. Now, he will be 3 later this month. He speaks well. Like, you can tell he's more 3 than 2 in that way. But, excuse me, 2 is 2. And that's a lot of energy. And I think about my ex and how, he has a much younger wife and they had a baby. And that is the same age as my granddaughter. So she's 4 now. And I'm like, no. I don't want to be raising a 4-year-old. They're really fun as grandkids. But I don't want. But that's not my story. My story goes with my story, like directly correlates with my stories about my grandchildren that I babysit every week. Okay, so last night they were over, and my granddaughter, habit. My stepdaughter asked her son, my grandson, what was your favorite part of tonight? The snacks. I about died laughing. Yep, the snacks. There you go. Now, he adores his granddad. Like, they video call a couple times a week, and so they have a really strong relationship, and he's been able to go out to California a couple times when I couldn't. But anyway, good news, if any of you were curious, I did get the Botox for my migraines, so I'm doing a lot better. I will have a surprise short for you on Saturday, and I mean, it's possible somebody else mentioned it somewhere. I'm not going to even say who would have mentioned it, but I'm leaving it a surprise. All right, so my shout outs, I'm going to start with those so that you stay for you hear them, and then you get to see the yarn. I had a sticky note that I was checking names off, but I moved things around to do a tutorial. You will get a tutorial on Sunday. It's technically a stitch tutorial. I turned it into a pickle, but it's technically a stitch tutorial. Anyway, I'm so sorry. I promise that's not, I'm not sick. It's just throat's bugging me. So what do? I have some hot tea. That one's my Namberry. Namberry is from Nambarrie. It is from Northern Ireland, and I have to either get it through tdog.com, sometimes Amazon, sometimes British Tea Store. So it just depends on who has it. It used to be impossible to get here in the US because it's not even in the UK. It's really pretty much in Northern Ireland, which is like, so you've got the Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland on the one island. Northern Ireland is just little teeny tiny top part. Anyway. All right. So I like to interrupt myself in case you didn't notice. Here's the channels. Here's the channels that I remember that are on the list that I have not specifically shouted out. Jonna's Journey. It's spelled like John, the name, and then N-A''S. Jonna's Journey. She does lots of different crafts, yarn crafts and other crafts. So she's fun to watch. I haven't been in there in a while, but I haven't. A lot of you know, I haven't been in a lot of people's in a while. I've been crazy busy and just, life is lifing. I have, again, a lot more stepdaughter duties with my youngest stepdaughter, pick up, drop off, all that stuff. So anyway, I haven't been around the YouTube streets. Sometimes I am. Like the other day, I was around the YouTube streets and another yarn Shannon and I kept ending up in the same place. So we would say hi to each other, and it was kind of like, who's going to be in that live first? Sometimes it was me, sometimes, and we just kept ending up in the same lives. It was in the chat though. Anyway. All right. So Jonna's Journey, and I'll have it linked, and then Find Your Joy. J-O-I. Okay. J-O-I. But Find Your Joy. She's just like kind of the way she talks, and she has 4 kitties and they're fun and they like to be held like babies. I'm so jealous. I wish my kitties wanted to be held like babies and cuddled. My kitties aren't like that. So I like to watch her channel sometimes just to see the kitties. But also, no, her vibes are similar to mine. She participates in a lot of the things like duck, dishcloth. She's doing two others of those collaboration things. Right now, my focus is on the Stitcherhood and getting my queen size blanket done for that. And then I was really focused on Armchair Chef Lori's birthday. Now I just need to get those packages mailed out. I was focused, and I need to still finish sending something that I'm going to send, but on the Smile project from Ladybird Loves. So those of you who haven't learned about this Smile project for a family in need of baby items, everything has to be 100% cotton because they're in Egypt, and it has to be breathable. But they need other items besides blankets and clothing too. So anyway, if you're interested in that, please make sure you contact Hadijah Ladybird Loves at her email. I will link the Smile Project video down below so you can go check that out. All right. So what I was saying about Find Your Joy is it's just kind of similar vibes to me. She talks about what she's working on. She'll show you yarn if she gets yarn. You'll love her cats. She colors her hair random colors. So yeah, sometimes I feel like I'm watching me in a weird way. Not really, because our lives are different. She still has a job and everything. I'm medically retired from teaching, for those of you who didn't know, because of migraines. So pretty soon, so in a year, end of April of next year, so in a year from when I'm recording this, it will turn into a regular retirement. So I don't have to call it a disability retirement anymore. Oh, and please watch out for, I'm going to shout this out here too. I have shouted out Ian is a Weirdo, but I want to shout out Ian is a Weirdo's May projects. Okay. He is doing interviews, recorded interviews, sort of like I did for my Journey to 1,000, with people about mental health, because May is the mental health awareness. Mama G Gear and Rusty Blades mentioned this the other day in their, not Ian's project, but a reminder, May is mental health awareness. We all need to be aware and sometimes check in with ourselves. Some of us need more than that. I personally need therapy a couple times a month. Sometimes it's better and I only need once, but it's not. For me, there's some challenges that you'll learn about on Ian's channel. So be watching for that. Again, Find Your Joy. She puts content out pretty much every day like me. Not every single day, but pretty darn close. Like me in that way. So Jonna's Journey, Find Your Joy, and Ian is a Weirdo, because you're going to want to see the mental health stuff. I'm going to mention two things here. I'm going to pause for a second. Okay. In May, but just in May, Ian is Weirdo is doing a make-along that's connected to mental health awareness. So you'll want to be there. I am not the only interview. There are several. Oh, you know what? I'll shout one out here too, because then that'll be 4. I'm good with 4. Mombi Amy is a lovely, fantastic human who has overcome so much and come through. Similar but different to Adrienne over at Kiwi's Crochet Corner. But I wanted to, and hey, if you don't subscribe to her too. But Mommy Amy, I'd like to see her get to her 500. Find Your Joy just hit her 400. Let's help her get to that 500 mark. Apparently in the US is the only place where it's got the 500 level. If you're not in the US, I guess you have to get all the way to the 1,000 and the 4,000. Anyway, it's interesting. I found that interesting. So Ian is weird. Like Amy is one of the people that there will be an interview. So you're going to be wanting to watch for those videos. And there's a make along, and it's something weekly. So I think they're small things. I don't remember the concept. I'll link the video below for Ian is Weirdo. But then there's also the magical make along that's hosted by Helix Stitchcraft, and that will run from May to June. And that I'll link that video below. Here Comes the Sun, I think, is the theme. And again, it's any art form. When they're make-alongs, it's any art form. And while we're at it, I'll mention Michelle Plays Hooky. If you have not checked her out, she's also doing a spring fling thing. So go check that out. I'll put her channel and that video. For the ones I'm mentioning a specific video thing or contest, make-along, crochet along, knit along, whatever. The make-alongs are more broad. Like it could be painting, dancing, singing, poetry, whatever. So, but the crochet and knit alongs are, or yarn arts, I guess we'll call them. Yarn art along. Nobody's going to call it that. No, don't call it that. All right. So, wow, I talked a lot and I haven't even gotten to the yarn. All right, Herrschners. Early birds catch the best deals. The thing about Herrschners is they have yarn, they have cross stitch, they have felting, they have diamond art, they have latch hook, they have just about everything. And you got to watch for a sale. The reason I bought this is you only needed to have $35 of yarn in your basket, and then shipping was only 25 cents. So that is why I did it. And then they always give you extra coupons. Do they tell me the sale price? No. I think well, maybe I didn't. Okay, this is the whole amount. So I can tell you what I paid for each thing. I'm going to show you this first, and I'll show you the colors I got. Oh, also, I want to show you appropriate size box. It is all the way full, but not like where it's pushing out the sides. Okay, this is the Leda yarn, 100% acrylic, 100 grams, approximately 330 meters. Where's this made? This color is 536, but it actually is called, I'm not sure if this one's the cream. Yeah, I think this one's the cream. I got two creams. Trying to see if I can find where it's made. It's really soft. Let's read this stuff. You can machine wash. Do not triangle, which is Crafting Kittie's phrase, which means don't bleach, don't iron. You can pee, which is the circle with a P, which means you can use the dry cleaning solvent P, whatever that is. Oh, somebody told me this. I think it was Michelle Place Hookie. The square with a line in it. I think that's low heat. Oh, then there's a square with a circle in it and an X through it. See, I need to retain this information when you guys tell me. I forgot. This was classified as a DK weight. I do not see where it tells me what size needle or hook. It just gives me gauge. So, cream. And these were $1.99 each for 330 meters of DK weight. This one is Hadija. This is pink. Warning. This color, I believe, was the... Was this the pink or the blush? This might be the blush. I don't even know if you can tell that's pink. Same specs. And I got 3 of those. Everything's okay here, Hadija. Okay, so this must be the soft mink because it's got a touch of tan, and this must be the cream where it's barely off-white. So I got 2 each of the neutrals there. Hadija, warning. It's about to be, and there's the pink. And then one more color. This one was the light blush. So this one was pink. Gosh, can you even tell the difference on screen? There's barely a difference. In person, it's very obvious. But, oh, yeah, there you can see it. And then this is the dark blush, or just blush. So the plan is to make, this is plenty of yardage to make a pinks blanket. Large. Which, Hadija, we are safe now. No more pink. As soon as I get this put away. I know it's her favorite. Sadly, it's not. I feel bad for her. But here's the real surprise. And I was waiting to open this until I was on camera because this is what I really wanted. And I got the gradient glitter assortment. It says 2 balls. I did order 2 of these. Okay, I was like, that's crazy. So I must have gotten some kind of discount because that would have been, they were $15 for 2 and I got the sparkle. And this color is fabulous. This is kind of an aqua. I mean, it's greens and blues together. This is very Camille, but not as fully green as Camille's creation. So definitely more of an aqua blues. It is 53% cotton, 43% acrylic, and 4% polyester. 8.8 ounces, 250 grams. 1,093 yards or 1,000 meters per ball. Okay, let's look and see what thickness that is. Yeah, I think you can see. And I have worked with basically the same yarn, just in a different colorway before. So these were mysteries. You didn't know what you were getting. Chef Lori also got 2 that matched. So with 2,000 yards, I can do something. And then I'm very happy with the other 2. Now these do not match, but look at them. I think this is the same as Lori got. So yes, my name is Lori also. The purple gradient here. And yes, those are, it might be pinks. Sorry, Khadijah. And then the blues and grays. So you can't really necessarily go together, but it only took me half of one of these balls to make that Solomon's knot shawl. So I think it's very feasible that I could get a... This is from J Paradise, and I'm not getting it off. Why? Because I've got a sweater on and a shirt, and I'm still freezing. All right, so that is all the yarn. That's the yarny goodness, and 4 channels. Well, I think it actually came out to 6 channels that I'd like you to check out. But the 4 I'm shouting out: Jana's Journey, Find Your Joy, Anna's Weirdo, and Mombi Amy. All right, thanks for coming in. Can I get an amen? Hugs from Mima. She doesn't have any snacks to give out, and she's got a hearing problem right now because her ear isn't on straight. Okay, we fixed her hearing problem. All right, hugs from her, hugs from me, whatever kind of hug you need. Remember, you matter, and kindness matters. I hope to see you again. Bye.